This week in East Brunswick was the week of the blizzard of '83. As the snow melts away, we'll take a look at some scenes around town and talk with some people about their experiences. Later, we'll hear some excerpts from the Township Council discussion on snow removal at this week's meeting. And a reminder to our viewers, last week's budget hearing was canceled due to snow. This week, the budget hearing will be cablecast live beginning at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. This week, we'll also look at the school system's Ethnic Heritage Poster and Essay Contest Awards, which were given out to over 150 children at the library this Tuesday evening. We apologize, but due to unforeseeable equipment failure, much of the meeting was not recorded. We'll show you a few brief excerpts from the meeting and take a look at some of the winning posters, which will be on display in the library through February. Later, Adrienne Eisner of the Township Consumer Affairs Office will be in the studio to talk about work-at-home frauds, which promise much extra income but don't deliver. The blizzard of '83, as it has been dubbed, dropped between 18 and 20 inches of snow on East Brunswick, reminding residents that the winter of '83 is not yet over. The unusually heavy snowfall hampered cleanup efforts by the public works crews as they put in long hours of overtime trying to clear the 150 miles of blacktop in East Brunswick. The heavy accumulation also caused schools to close this past Monday. But on the brighter side, many people saw the snow as something to be enjoyed or to profit by. We asked some people at the Brunswick Square Mall for their reactions to the blizzard. For a school teacher, the snow meant an unexpected vacation.
We had several days off because of the snow and there was low attendance at school, so it was great and they could send more down.
For freelance snow shovelers, it meant a good day's wages.
Shovel?
Yeah, $45 for a whole day, but, you know,
I mean, it takes your toll on your back.
For some, the blizzard meant staying at home.
Most of the time, yeah.
You snowed it?
Snowed in. I had to shovel all the cars and everything. We got someone to do it for us.
Some pitched in and shoveled snow with the family.
Who did all the shoveling?
I helped.
Yeah, I did too.
Others were content to sit and watch. Some enjoyed the storm,
What do you think of the blizzard of '83 hitting East Brunswick?
while others are glad it's all over.
The blizzard of '83 hitting East Brunswick.
Don't ask.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
I thought it was pretty bad.
Most agree it's nice to look at anyway. Here are some snow scenes in and around East Brunswick from the blizzard of '83. This Tuesday evening, the 3 meeting rooms at the library were filled to capacity as 150 students received awards for their contributions to the 1983 East Brunswick Area Ethnic Heritage Festival, celebrating the family of people. Awards were given by the Central Jersey Conference for Christians and Jews to students for essays on ethnic groups and brotherhood, and to student designers of posters for the festival. Due to equipment failure, we were unable to tape the program itself, but afterwards, Rashna Hazar read her essay to us, entitled Ethnic Heritage. Following this excerpt will be the names of the school winners and some examples of the artwork.
Life in India. My culture is Indian, where the food is full of spices. There are sweets, curries, yogurts, and high prices. We also have festivals and dances. Diwali is our festival of lights. Oil lamps and candles light up the nights. New clothes, toys, and firecrackers for kids. For grown-ups, there's exchanging of sweets and gifts. Holi is our festival of color. Everyone throws color powder on each other, but it is close to my heart and will stay in my heart forever.
Hello, welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. Tonight we're going to talk about work-at-home frauds. You can earn $3,000 a month money beyond your wildest dream. Earn $400 to $600 right in your own home. Do these sound familiar? Have you heard of them before? Or perhaps you've even responded to one. Each year, thousands of people do, and help unscrupulous promoters take millions of dollars of their victims' hard-earned money. These promotions are usually aimed at shut-ins, the elderly, the unemployed, or housewives who are trying to supplement their family income. The most common offering is for envelope stuffing or mailing circulars or for making a product such as baby booties. Beware, work-at-home schemes will not guarantee you regular salaried employment or even a market for your product. They will require you to invest your money before explaining how a plan works or before you are sent any instructions. Finally, the work you are asked to do often continues the fraud by getting other people involved. One work-at-home swindler operating through 5 different names and addresses in the state of California enticed over 25,000 persons across the country to invest $12 each, with promises of incomes ranging from $180 to $500 per week. For $12, those responding received a starting kit, along with claims that the work consisted primarily of addressing envelopes and inserting circulars. No one received any envelopes to address or stuff, nor did they receive a weekly paycheck. What they did receive was a booklet written by the promoters explaining how to make money in the mail order business. The secret? Simple. Just place ads similar to the ones which entice the victims to invest in the program and solicit additional people to join. So be aware of advertisements if they involve any of these elements. A request to send money for any reason. Claims of enormous earnings, big money for work done in your own home in your spare time. No experience or skills necessary. Advertisements which claim that you can earn unusually high income with little or no effort on your part should be viewed with suspicion. If you have any questions about work-at-home frauds, please call our office. Our telephone number is 390-6954. We're there daily from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. Please join us again.
At this week's Township Council meeting, Mayor Fox read a proclamation expressing thanks to all community groups that support Scouting. The Boy Scouts were represented by Troop 223 of Bound Monroe School.
Now therefore I, William F. Fox, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, extend sincere appreciation to our community organizations that use the Scouting program and to their volunteer leaders. And be it further resolved that I proclaim the week of February 14th to 18th as Scouting Anniversary Week and urge our citizens to join with me in expressing appreciation to the community organizations and their volunteer Scouting leaders for bringing the spirit of Scouting to our young people.
Later, the Mayor and Town Council discussed snow removal in East Brunswick.
I would give us and the men in Public Works an overall performance, an A-, I think. There were a few places where we could have done a better job. A couple of you spent some time down at Public Works this weekend and rode with me. I think you saw some of the problems. Some streets, some through streets were not plowed as soon as they should have been. But in general, I think the performance was pretty good. It it's been a long time since we've had a severe snowstorm, and I think that we all forget, and people forget, that it requires, for anything over about 10 inches of snow, it requires 24 to 36 hours to get every street broken through at least once. In 24 at the lower end, something in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 inches. And in the case of a storm like we had this weekend, 36 on the higher end. And in fact, 24 to 36 after it stopped snowing. So it stopped snowing about 8 o'clock Saturday morning, and I think that we got the last court at just before 8 o'clock Sunday night, which puts it right at 36 hours. There were a number of people who felt we should have been there sooner, but with approximately 150 courts, with roughly 200 miles plus of roadway, and with equipment breakdowns, the limits on the number of hours people can work, it simply takes that long. So I guess people panic or something, and they think that we're going to stop and everybody's going to go home and their street's not going to be done. And I think we should take every opportunity to assure the public that we don't stop until it's all done. You know, that nobody's going to be forgotten. Because every area is inspected by supervision. And certainly people let us know if they think their street has not been plowed. In terms of other things, we had one really strange incident where a certain court, which shall go unnamed, had been calling most of Sunday. I guess they got the neighbors together and said, let's all call and come faster. And so about 6, 7 o'clock Sunday night, the snowplow went in, and the neighbors trapped the plow, the truck, the driver at the end of the court, came out with their shovels and were threatening the driver and the truck, spitting on at the driver, throwing snowballs. Finally had to call the police, and they did not disperse until the police told them they would be arrested unless they did.
What's amazing to me is in some sections that you used a light truck and you just went up the center, and maybe he didn't put down the carrier far enough, and sometimes you leave about 4 or 5 inches and it's only a single line. Now, I did tour Colonial Oaks, and boy, they seem to have been done from curb to curb.
I differ with you.
in the streets that I went on, and
Try Warwick.
Then I get a call from Darby, and they says that they had to hire a truck to clean out Darby. Now, I don't know. Somebody brought it to my attention that that the town trucks weren't to go to Darby, and I probably know better. So, I mean, if the mayor could give me some explanation.
Okay, I'll give you, let me take the first thing first. Why were the blades up in some places? And that is because the smaller dump trucks could not push this volume of snow with the blade all the way down, so that they did ride in the first pass with the blade up a bit. In fact, even the big tandem dump trucks had trouble in some spots. And we had 2 contract large plows out, and they were having some trouble. We had a couple of our big trucks that were down over the weekend. That is, they broke in the process of plowing snow, so we had to go down to the smaller trucks. And the answer to the second thing is that and we hear this every year, that Colonial Oaks is always cleaner curb to curb and other places aren't. Any street that is wide, has well-defined curves, and no cars parked on it is going to be done fast, and it's going to be done in 2 passes, which amounts to curb to curb. Streets where the curbs are not well-defined and there are cars parked on either side, which is the case in many of the smaller streets and the older sections of the community, are going to take 2, 3, 4 times as long to get done, and because of the cars there, they're not going to be done curb to curb. The operational plan for snow removal assigns, has the community divided into 4 service areas, and there is an equal amount of equipment assigned to each service area. The 4 service areas are roughly equal in number of residents, and the people who are, the crews that are assigned there are told to start one end and work to the other until they're finished in that area. When an area is finished, then we can divert equipment into another area. But there's no question that there's some parts of town that are done, that go faster simply because of the nature of them. So there were several areas that were not well done. Turns out that plowing snow is not an easy thing. You can't just jump in a truck and plow snow. It takes experience, it takes skill. We have lost some of our more experienced people to retirement. And since we've chosen not to replace in public works, it's limited our ability to grow more experience. And it was just clear that some of the old timers, they might not want me to call them that, but some of the more senior employees have been with the town for 25 or 30 years, really knew how to plow snow, and they knew their sections, and there was just never a hitch. And the loss of those people takes you a long time to make up. And so there were a couple of areas that just were not done as well as they have been in the past because of inexperience. So no question, but we're going to be reviewing, Tom Schuster and his staff will be having a critique of the whole operation and looking, we keep a list of all the calls we get so that we can determine where the problem areas were.
The priorities are such that you do have to have priorities because not every street can be plowed immediately. And the priorities are very carefully thought out. They are that the major roads should be plowed first. Because if you don't have the major roads plowed first, you can't even begin to get into the courts with emergency vehicles and fire vehicles. On Friday night, every plow was out, and we were watching it. It was all that they could do with that storm blowing and the wind blowing and the snow coming down to keep the major roads open. They'd plow, and it would drift right back in again. Beginning, as soon as the snow stopped, then they could go back and clear the major roads once again, begin with the connector streets, and then get to the courts. It's not that we don't consider people who live on the courts important. It's that we know that in order to get to the courts with fire vehicles, with emergency vehicles, the roads that connect the courts and get to the courts have to be plowed first.